So we're on. Hello, people. It is our anniversary video and we are live, and I'm giving everybody time to pile on here until we start in 2 minutes at 7 o'clock. So, honey, plug your earphones. Oops, I have to cut that out. Sorry. We have a wonderful moderator, Mr. Handsome Moderator over there, who is hanging out and moderating for moi. So, hi everybody. Hi. I don't want to call anybody's name and massacre your name. I don't want to pronounce your name incorrectly. So I'm just going to say hi, hey girl, hey everybody. Thank you for taking the time out to be here. Today is exciting because today makes 6 years that I hopped on a plane, moved to Canada, started school all in the same day. And so I am here to celebrate with you guys, answer questions if you guys have questions, and cover just a little bit of immigration news. Now I promise alarm. I promised two things. I promised one, that this episode was going to be how I moved to Canada from Jamaica in 5 years and became a citizen. And I also promised you a surprise. You're only going to get one of those things today. You're going to get the surprise today, which is good, right? That episode there, maybe. That episode there, I'm still putting together for you. I do want to make sure that I have all the information for you. Versus just saying, well, you know, I came to school, I worked, I became a permanent resident, and then I became a citizen. Yay! I want to give you dates, I want to give you costs, and I want to give you how long each process took, because I think that is a very common question is, okay, Christina, I'm applying for school, how long is it supposed to take for me to hear back from them? Questions like those. So I definitely want to tell you what my experience was in detail. So I don't think I have all the information yet to make that video be today. So I'm still compiling that information, but I'm here live and we are going to, it's 7 o'clock. Yay. So I'm going to just kick off. Happy anniversary to our community, our 10,000 subscriber community. Yay. I'm very excited that our community is growing. How long does it take? What is it? You have to tell me what the it is that you speak of. Phyllis, I think it's Phyllis Rose. Yes, so I'm happy that our community has grown to this size, and I'm here on my 6th year anniversary to join with you guys. So just a little bit of immigration news before I tackle any of the questions, right? First of all, it's typical that the parent and grandparent sponsorship program opens up in January, because last year, January, everybody was able to submit an application. Mark you, it was only 1 day and it was only open for 11 minutes and the system crashed and it was a nightmare. And I thought that they would have, come January 2020, they would have done the same thing, except they haven't. And they have delayed it until April of 2020. So if you're considering sponsoring your parents, if anybody is in that position right now, it's going to definitely be later than usual. The Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot Program, that's something that, of course, I'm going to do a video on. Right now, the information is coming out slowly but surely for each of the communities that are sponsoring people. So I'm kind of waiting for more information. A lot of the provinces or a lot of the communities have delayed the program. And so I'm waiting for more information to come out. Happy New Year. I think that there's a lot of misinformation out there. Like people are saying, oh, the easiest way to come to Canada. And I've looked at some of the job lists and the jobs are kind of up there jobs. It's not, there are a few probably agricultural related jobs, but I feel like it's to some extent similar to the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. So then Express Entry, the last draw was 469 points. So if you're in that floating around that area, make sure you submit your profile and get yourself to Canada ASAP. All right, now countries. Comparing Express Entry and Atlantic Immigration Pilot, which do I recommend? Now, Express Entry, once you have enough money and you have a good application, hey girl, you don't necessarily have to worry about anybody's approval apart from just the government, right? Whereas in Atlantic Canada, the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program, you have to have a job, right? Which is good, but it also means that it's more work. So you have to get a job. You have to get approval from the province, and then you have to apply for permanent residency. Whereas Express Entry is just apply for permanent residency, wait, and get approved, and then come to Canada and figure out the job. It's nice to have a job secured before you come to Canada, but I think that if you have the money to do Express Entry, it's definitely a lot less work than the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. But if you don't have the money for Express Entry, then the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program is definitely a good option. And I like that you're coming here to a job. Can you apply for a visa, a study visa, 8 months in advance? On the CIC website, it says as soon as you get approval letter from school, you should apply for your visa as soon as possible. I think 8 months is a little bit premature, but you're definitely on the safe side. It doesn't say a maximum or minimum time based on the CIC website. You can go and double check. But I think that, within 6 months is a good time. I think 8 months is a little bit premature. But if you apply 6 months before school starts and you kind of get it in 2 months, then you're in good standing. All right, so you're not going to be like me who collect the visa and jump on the plane in the same day. Like, you don't want that. That's just too much drama, too much stress. I just missed that question, Mister. Sorry, the questions are coming up very quickly, and then I'm kind of just missing them. I answered that question, right? I hope so. How soon can you study after enrolling in the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program? I believe that once you have your permanent residency, you're free to do whatever you want to do. You're only restricted when you're on something like a work permit or a study permit. So Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program, the end result is permanent residency. So once you're a permanent resident, you're free, technically. Maybe. I guess it's not a surprise anymore. I think it's kind of obvious. A little bit, right? My face is like, what happened to your face, Christina? Everyone needs to do biometrics now. CIC updated their website in December. Well, that's good information because I think I only had to do the biometrics once. So that's definitely good information. Thank you very much for sharing that, Jody. I've missed some questions, honey. For Express Entry, which process should I start first? Document evaluation or IELTS? I think you should start the document, your assessment first, your credential assessment first, or I guess that's what you call document evaluation. I feel like that is, of the two, is longer. So I know somebody who did their document evaluation, sent it in probably September or October, and they're still waiting for the results, and did the English test in November or maybe October 24th or November 24th, and has the results already. So the results for the IELTS test are definitely quicker, and depending on what country you're in, then the IELTS test date might be far out. So look to see when your test date is, book it, and get your evaluation done in advance so that once everything comes through, you're good to go. Next question. I missed it. It's gone. What the minimum should be on your bank statement? It depends. It depends on what program you're applying for. It depends on which province you're going to. It depends on a lot of things. So you have to be a little bit more specific. I got rejected in November. Humble project management. Planning to reapply, but I changed to something else for business. Will that be an issue, or should I explain it? You got rejected by the school, like you got rejected as a student, or your visa got rejected. I think I missed that. What is the fastest or easiest way to immigrate to Nova Scotia? I think the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. Once you're able to find a job in your field, or even if it's not in your field, find a job, it's probably like a 6-month process to get through to go to Nova Scotia.
Have you heard of a case where when they get to Canada, they have to log into their online bank account and show proof of funds instead of using bank statements?
Have I ever known of a case where people have to log into their bank account to show proof of funds instead of their bank statements? No, I've never heard of that. And I don't see why that should be necessary, because you got approval based on the documents you submitted. The people at the border shouldn't have that authority. But if that's somebody else's experience, then oops. But I don't believe that that is the case. But things change. Things are always changing. Somebody just said your visa got rejected.
Yeah, that's the first person who spoke
About Humble?
Yeah.
Your visa got rejected because why? Do you see why? Oh, yes. It's international scholarships. I don't know if you are the same person who messaged me on Instagram. Somebody messaged me on Instagram that they're applying for Lambton College, and they want to know about like scholarships. Hey, okay, it is you. Hi. Thanks for messaging. Thanks for joining us live here. So each of the schools on their website have a tab that will speak to scholarships. Now, I kind of did it very quickly before I came on here because I just saw your message. And Lambton College, I see where if you go to financial aid, that is where it kind of tells you about the scholarships, and it tells you to contact the enrollment something services so that they can assist you or inform you on what is available directly through the school. So you might want to try that. So go to the school's website, go to financial aid, and email. They have a few, but what about other places that offer them? That is definitely something that you just kind of have to Google. You have to just Google international student scholarships in Canada and see what's available. I honestly don't think that there are many, and the ones that are there are not even full scholarships. I went on the Humber website. Humber has about like $3,000, $5,000, which, I mean, some is some, money is money, but $3,000 of 18,000, you know, it's kind of like, what's a good application? To what? Guys, you have to be specific. What's a good application to what? Can a student apply for express entry, or does it have to be done after school? No. Once you have enough points to qualify for express entry, you're free to enter. The only thing is that as a student, then you're going to be classified under the Federal Skilled Worker Program and not the Canadian Experience class. Whereas if you finish school, work for a year, then you are under the Canadian Experience class and you definitely have more points. But if you're in school here and you have enough points for express entry, submit your application, definitely.
The rejection was of the visa from the embassy based on finances, sorted that out. But because I'm changing program on school, so wondering if that's an issue.
Okay, so the person with the rejected visa, you're changing school, you're changing program, but you previously got rejected. Will that be a problem? I personally don't think so. I'm not an immigration consultant. You might want to consult with an immigration consultant to help you kind of just prepare like a good application to make sure that your financial backing is strong, or you just have a strong application. But I mean, if you, in your explanation letter, you can just state, why did you change? You know, maybe you had a change of heart, or, you know, you realize that this is more suited to your skills, the skills that you already have to make you more marketable. Just make it sound nice and make it sound very eloquent, and you shouldn't have a problem. But if you're in Jamaica, check out Anton Brown. He can probably help you out to make a strong application. Does Canada have a work and travel program? Yes. However, the ones that I've seen, you have to come from like a first world country to do it. There's some that are available through Jamaicans, but they're more like the farmer program. Jamaica like shipped out like, I think 200 or 300 people like this month to the agricultural program to Canada right now. Oh man, I missed that question. But yes, there are work and travel programs. The ones that I've seen, you have to come from like Australia or Europe or something.
Can you update your proof of funds after submitting application for visa, for study visa?
Can you update your proof of funds after submitting an application for student visa? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. That is definitely a question for CIC because I'm not sure how you would send them that information. But you definitely want, when you submit it the first time, to submit the proper amount of money to just not have a rejection. Rejection, you waste time, you waste money.
Somebody do the calculator and get 429 points. Which program would you recommend?
You did the calculator for express entry. You got 429 points. That's a little bit low for express entry. The last draw was 469. No, it can drop. I've never seen it go as low as 429. So you might want to just try a different program now. Like try the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program or the Rural and Northern Pilot Program, because I don't believe you have enough points for express entry. Or if you have enough money, come to school in Canada and get more points. But that's definitely expensive. Greetings. I enjoy your wealth of knowledge and information. Thank you very much. Thanks for being here. Greetings from UTech. Planning to change from IT aviation and looking at studying in Canada. IT to aviation. Looking to study in Canada. Okay, that's great. I'm not sure. Great. I don't know if you have a question. After submitting a student application, how long can it be for your visa to be approved when you have already done your biometrics? Now, the processing time is going to vary. I think it depends on the time of the year. It depends on the country that you're in. My visa took 6 weeks to process, and I camped out at their office to try and get it. It can take 8 months, so it depends on the time of the year. So it's just a matter of checking on the website to see what the processing time is. I'm from Jamaica. I recently got accepted for Humboldt. How should you... Oh, it disappeared.
How soon should I apply for my study permit, and do I need to do a deposit to the school before applying?
How soon should you apply for your study permit? As soon as possible, but try to, if you have 6 months before school starts, apply for it within 6 months before school starts. Processing time, just think that it's 2 months. It can be shorter, it can be longer, it depends. In my day, it was 2 months. Then make sure you have it before time so you can get there. Do you have to pay a deposit? I believe when you get accepted to Humboldt, they require you to pay some money to secure your spot, which is somewhat of a deposit. It is recommended that you pay some of the school fee, even if it's just 1 semester, because it just shows that you actually intend to go to school. There's no hard and fast or saying that they're 100% requirement that you must pay, but it's definitely for your financial backative, sort of just pay it. So you say, you know what, I'm really going to school, I'm serious about this thing, because a whole heap of money to not be serious about. Because some people just apply for school and then get a visa and run away. So run away. Sorry for the non-Jamaicans. Somebody said a question about IELTS. I missed it.
What is the required IELTS grade points to get to study in Canada?
What is the required IELTS points to study in Canada? Now, when I applied to study in Canada, I did not have to do an English test because I'm from an English-speaking country, I believe. So it depends on where you're from, and it depends on the school. So it's definitely something that you want to check out on the school's website to see what is the lowest band that they will accept. But always just shoot for 100%. Study for the English test, even if you come from an English-speaking country. I beg you no. I know somebody who did it the other day, a smart person, very smart person. And she studied, but probably not as much as she should have. And she could have done better. She could have done a lot better had she studied. Okay, and she's a reader, she likes English, she's smart. Still flop the test, flop. No problem, man. Okay. Can you get PR without doing IELTS? Only if you have somebody sponsoring you, like your spouse or your family member. Your family sponsorship is the easiest application to get into Canada. I sponsored my husband, and all he had to do was sign the papers and pay the money. Never, nothing. He had to do like a background test, but that's it. Does Canada accept City and Guilds or CXC? I'm interested in doing nursing. Canada does, I believe, accept CXC and CAPE, and if City and Guilds is British, which I think is Canada is monarch, constitutional monarch, so I think that it would. Now, if you're trying to get into school, then you're okay. If you're trying to practice nursing, there's definitely some more schooling or some more requirements that you're going to need to practice as a nurse in Canada. But I do believe that CXC, CAPE, and I think City and Guilds, I don't know 100%, but CXC and CAPE. What's the question?
Do you think applying to Nova Scotia and New Brunswick will give you a better chance of getting their visa instead of immigrants in those provinces?
Do I think that applying to provinces in Atlantic Canada is what?
Nova Scotia
or New Brunswick.
Makes it easier to get the visa, student visa.
Makes it easier to get the student visa. Easier? No, I don't think so.
Gives you a better chance.
Gives you a better chance of what though? Getting the visa? No, at the end of the day, money. They want to show that you're not going to run away in their country and that you have enough money. It's never, I don't think anybody is ever rejected because, you know what, too many people are going to Toronto. I don't think so, because at the end of the day, like, international immigration is a money making thing, all right, and international students are a money making thing. So I don't think it increases your chance of visa application, unfortunately, but it's definitely a good option for yourself to go to a non-overpopulated province that has a cheaper cost of living, like Nova Scotia or New Brunswick, as compared to Toronto.
So, but if from Gambia, doing a master's in Italy and wants to know.
Hi from Gambia, oh my gosh, in Italy.
And wants to do an additional master's in Canada.
Want to do an additional master's in Canada?
You need to do the English test.
Do you need to do the English test to do an additional master's in Canada and you're from Gambia and you're studying in Italy? Probably. I think each school has its own requirements for English. So if you're not from a non-English speaking country, then you probably do have to do the English test to get admissions into the school. But it depends on the school. So you just have to check out the school's website.
Somebody can submit to 2 different programs at the same time.
Can you submit an application to 2 different programs at the same time?
For learning English and in Nova Scotia and the other, like AIPP.
What?
Can they make 2 submissions at the same time?
Submissions of what?
One is the visa for learning English in Nova Scotia and the other is AIPP.
So Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. So you want to know if you can apply for a visitor's visa and apply for the Atlantic Immigration Program at the same time. I don't know, but I don't know why you would want to do that. But since in Atlantic Canada, you have to, I don't know if Nigeria is categorized as an English-speaking country. You tell me that. Are you from Nigeria? I have no idea. If you are interested in the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program, you definitely have to start job searching. In the meantime, you can try to apply for a visitor's visa, and then by the time that comes through and everything is done, then you'll probably have your papers together for Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. So both aren't happening at the same time. I don't know the science behind the visitors visas and applications for permanent residency happening at the same time. I'm sorry, I don't think I have enough information to tell you that.
Academic evaluation expires in March. Can I send it over before I start the application process?
Oh, this is the lady that is having a baby. Congratulations, you're having a baby soon, right? In like March or something? And you want to know about your English evaluation results, right? They're going to expire. I think you just have to get the evaluation done again. What country are you from? I'm from Jamaica. I'm from Jamaica, Kazim. Kazim, I think is your name. I'm from Jamaica. I think you have to redo your English evaluation so that it will be valid again. I don't know what you mean by can you resend the results. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but if it's going to expire, you're going to need a new one. Kind of like if the English test expires, you have to do it back.
I am Frederick from Ghana. I'm just applying for mechanical engineering. Would I get student visa early or easier by the Nigerians speak English? That's why.
Next.
Um,
Hi from Trinidad. Hi, Omar.
do I obtain
Guys, we're going to be on here for 5 more minutes. It's almost 30 minutes now, so we're going to be here for 5 more minutes. I'm hungry. I'm living in Spain, but I'm married with a Canadian. How can I get a visa to Canada from Gambia? You're married to a Canadian? Just apply for a visitor's visa or have your Canadian spouse sponsor you to become a Canadian permanent resident, like I did for my husband. I think there's a video on that.
you get your study visa at the VAC and study permit when you land
Yes.
in Canada?
Yes, I think that person is probably answering your question. You get your visa in your passport at the VAC, the Visa Application Center, or the consulate, whichever it is in your country. And then when you land in Canada, you go through customs, and then you go into a room, and in that room, they process all your documents and give you your study permit and say, welcome to Canada, door runway into our country. Next question.
When you were a student, can you have people come look for you?
When you are a student, can you have people come look for you? Yeah. Yes, you can write an invitation letter to say, you know what, I'm studying in Canada. My parents want to come and visit me, or even like my parents want to come to my graduation. You can definitely write a letter. Thank you so much. You can definitely write a letter to say you're inviting somebody to come and visit you and have them get a visitor's visa approved. Yeah.
Your videos are awesome and informative and so much therapeutic.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the compliments. It's definitely nice. Would you recommend a short trip would I recommend a short trip for a job search? Maybe. I don't see why not. If you already have a visitor's visa and you can, the only thing is that you come here, you search for a job. Where are you searching for a job for? In Atlantic Canada or in Ontario? Because even if you find a job here, that worker, that employer has to be willing to do the labor market impact assessment, which is terribly hard. Like, I'm not saying it's impossible, but the employer basically has to say there's nobody in Canada to hire. I have to hire this international person. So if you're coming here to look for a job, I think it's probably better for a job in the Atlantic provinces or in the rural and northern communities. That way, you can actually get a job offer. That makes sense. Yes, through Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. Sure, why not? Yeah, I think it's an advantage to have like a face-to-face if you can. For how long the process take? I don't know what process. Next question.
I am from Indonesia.
Which province do you live in? I need your assistance. I live in the province of Ontario.
Ontario is big.
Ontario is big. I am a midwife. Hi, midwife. Atlantic Canada. Yes, you can. There are a lot of nurse and home care jobs in Atlantic Canada. Now, guys, on our website, we have a list called the Atlantic Immigration or Atlantic Canada job list. And on that job list, there are, so what the person who's put that list together is, there's the category of the job, there is the location of the job, there's the contact information for the job, and then there's the job positions that are available, because not all designated employers are hiring, right? And I went through that list just yesterday because somebody asked me a question about coming here as a doctor. And I saw a lot of nurse and home care jobs in the health category in Atlantic Canada. Atlantic Canada has a doctor shortage, guys. As Atlantic Canada has a doctor shortage. If you're a doctor, there's definitely some way to get to Atlantic Canada and practice.
Somebody's a UK citizen.
Yes. Okay.
How long for a family visa?
How long for a family visa, like family sponsorship or visitor's visa? You have to be a little bit specific. Can I get an email address to email you, please? As told by Canadian immigrants at gmail.com. Any platform that we're on, we're as told by Canadian immigrants at whatever that site is. Gmail, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or website.
Can an invitation letter come from a non-family member?
Can an invitation letter come from a non-family member? Yes, but it just has to show like proper relationship. When I had to write my invitation letter for my sister and my mother, I had to show proof of relationship. But I have a video called "Do I Need an Invitation Letter?" And there are some cases where if you don't have any family here necessarily, you can come as a tourist, but you kind of have to like book your trip in advance, book your tickets, have an itinerary, show your intent to leave the country, show that you have enough funds. So you can get a visitor's visa without an invitation letter. So just check out that video on my channel. As told by Canadian immigrants at gmail.com. The name of our channel at gmail.com. Okay, guys, guess what? It's about time to go and eat. So, two last things. Frequently asked question, right? A lot of people are saying, I'm from this country, I am this profession, how do I move to Canada? It's going to depend on a lot of things. Your money, how much money you have, a bunch of things. So there's a video on our website. It's called How to Move to Canada, 5 Ways How to Immigrate to Canada. And we have a blog post also on our website. Okay, so definitely check that out because different things apply to different people. So check that out. If the question is in your mind, I'm this profession, I'm from this country, how do I move to Canada? Check out that video. Okay, so it's time for the surprise. I think a lot of people already know. So yes, there's a little Canadian on the way. So this year is going to be definitely exciting. We're looking forward to it. And soon, I can talk to you about maternity leave. Like, I think Canada is probably the best country in the world for maternity leave because you can get a year to 18 months paid maternity leave. That's amazing. So I can't wait to talk about it. Thank you very much for all the congratulations. So far so good. Then family challenge. No, them clamping down on children on YouTube. This will be our first child. This will be our first little Canadian with a original Canadian passport and birth certificate. It's not like us, but that's okay. I appreciate everybody for being on here. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your questions. I appreciate your congratulations. I appreciate your love and your support. We definitely look forward to seeing you on the next video where I'm going to lay out for you the sequence within which I moved to Canada from Jamaica and became a citizen in 5 years. So I'm going to feed this child and myself because we're hungry, and I will see you guys in the next video. Remember to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, you probably are subscribed. Share it with your friends. Share it on Instagram. Grow the community because the bigger we get, the more I can give to you.